Hello everybody, this is Steve Gamache with another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. And what we have this time is the Kohetsu Aogami Super Kiritsuke 210mm knife. This knife is not black, it's just the lighting kind of makes it look that way. We'll get a close-up of it, but there you go. This is actually a good shot right here. Here's your cladding, and then it goes down. You can see the edge of the cladding there intermeshes with where the core steel peeks out, and then there's kind of a polished area on these where they thin out the blades on the right side of the blade. In terms of construction, they've got a soft stainless cladding on either side of that hard core reactive steel. So the core steel is Aogami Blue Paper Super reactive high carbon steel. Again, soft stainless cladding on either side that covers the spine as well, so that helps make maintenance a little bit easier. But as you use the knife and the core steel gets a patina on it, it'll start darkening and taking on a color of patina, and then you'll start to get that contrast where it really looks cool with the stainless over top of the reactive Aogami Super. In terms of weight and dimensions, these can vary a little bit from knife to knife, but this particular one is 118 grams or 4.2 ounces, so these are very light. The heat treat on that Aogami Super is extremely well done. They've actually got testing and documentation on test as they work on the blades and heat treat them. So the heat treat's about 64, which is fairly high for Aogami Super, but what that will give you is extended edge retention and a little bit of a trade-off for durability and also sharpening, ease of sharpening, but these will still sharpen pretty darn easily on good sharpening stones. Again, higher heat treat makes a little bit more, a little less durable steel, so you got to be a little more careful with how you use the knife and what you're cutting. But these are high-performance knives with high-performance grinds. Handles are octagonal, what's known as magnolia or hoe wood, with a black buffalo ferrule, nicely done. The ferrule on these is actually kind of a cap or a sleeve, so you do have a little bit of a ridge right there, a bump. Some handles have that ridge, some are pretty well flush between the buffalo horn and not. This one you can see has got, well, I can feel it, it's got a little bit of a ridge there. And they've got a nice glue up job, tight seal job there where it goes into the handle, the tang, so that's really nicely done. Edge length is right about 210 millimeters on this, so about 8¼ inches. And then the overall length is about 347 millimeters, or 13.7 inches. These are fairly thin knives, but have a decent amount of stiffness given the thinness of them. I got about 2¼ millimeters thick on the spine at the back, and then about halfway down I got about 2.05. And it maybe goes down to about 2 millimeters here where it turns the corner on that kind of reverse sword tip. And then it thins out nicely as you get down towards the tip. So not crazy thin, but pretty darn thin. And it'll go real nice through product. And they're thin at the edge. Again, not crazy thin, but pretty thin at the edge as well. Performance on these is very good. Blade height is about 45, almost 46 millimeters at the back, so I've got plenty of clearance there for fingers on a cutting board. They've got a little bit of a small curve here between the choil and the neck. Not a lot of gap right there for a finger to fit fully, but it will nest in there. And then balance-wise, it's a light blade, but it's also a lightweight handle, which works well with this blade. And that's about where the balance point is on this knife, wherever that first kanji character is. So it's a pretty neutral feel, maybe tick blade heavy with the pinch grip, at least my pinch grip, but nice and neutral, lightweight, flickable blade. I guess let's grab our beauty shot here. So these are consistently nice fit and finish. They're well crafted. They've got very nice edges on them. This I'll give a 6, maybe 7 out of 10 on out of the box edge. Here is some embossed kanji. You can see on the right side of the blade, vertical finish marks. This kind of shiny section here is where they thin the blade out on the right side for the performance. And then there's your cladding line right there. So kind of wavy line there is where the cladding, might be easier on this side. Cladding gives way to the core steel. You can see that wavy line right there. It's even in person, it's a little hard to pick up, but there's the line. Here's the right side or the left side of the blade, unadorned. Nice fit and finish on these with the spine and the choil back here and the neck. So these are ready to rock and roll right out of the box. And let's take a look. So they do make almost equivalent knives with blade shapes and stuff on a Western handle as well as the Japanese handle style. The Japanese handle style, the Ho handle tends to, or the Wa handle, excuse me, tends to be a little thinner blade. The Western ones are a little thicker blade, so maybe better suited if you're in a commercial environment and you need a little bit more durability. So these are ground generally thinner. The Wa or Japanese handle blades are generally ground a little thinner than their Western cousins in the knife lineup that Chef Knives to Go has, that Mark carries. Here's your edge profile. Pretty versatile. The tip's fairly high, so I can rock this thing way up here. So this will rock like crazy. You can see they've got a fairly aggressive belly towards the tip. It flows very smoothly into a little bit of a stop at the heel, but the back part, maybe quarter of the blade, is nice and flat. So this will flow real nice into a stop. It's very gradual and smooth. You can push, pull, cut all day long. If you want to do tip draws, you'll have to lift the handle a little higher simply because you got that more aggressive belly towards the tip, but fairly versatile profile overall on this blade. So these are just a nice line of knives. They perform great. The steel is excellent, has great edge retention, high performance, especially on the Wa-handled versions of these. Just a lot of people in professional kitchens use these because they'll have great edge retention for food prep and so on. So this is the Kohetsu Aogami Super Kiritsuke 210mm knife from Chef Knives to Go.